the body. If he was good in this life, his karma, good karma, then when he is reborn, he moves up a notch. Right? Up. The notches, these are the castes. Because you have 4 major castes, but then they have thousands of subcastes. So you move up notch by notch by notch. Each time you're a good boy. Now, if you weren't good, then you may be reborn, as a lizard, right? Or a dog, or some other animal, a fly. This is why, those that are very strict, they're strict vegetarians. This is what it's about. Because you may be eating your grandfather. So that's why the very interesting about eating meat, So this is their concept. And this is also why suicide for them is real easy. I know there in Dubai, we have a huge portion of Hindus that are there working. And almost every day you read in the newspaper some Hindu ties a noose around the ceiling fan and they find him there, his wife there. Life gets tough, let's take another try. Easy for them to just pack it in and come back again, right? This is their basic belief. Now, so as we said, the people, working your way up the ladder, and in the end you reach the Brahmin class, then when you die at that point, you reabsorbed by Brahman, world soul. This they call moksha. And in Buddhism it's called nirvana. You hear these terms, right? At that point you become one back with the universal God. So their whole religion, philosophically, requires man to realize that he in fact is God. And all of this so-called New Wave religions, we talk about the New Age religions, they call them, right? New Age religions. People like Shirley MacLaine and others that are involved in, a variety of different versions of the New Age religions. All of it goes back to this idea that man is God. Realizing that you are God. Reincarnation is a common theme amongst them all. You get hypnotized, go back to your previous life. In my previous life I was a this and a that, and all these stories that they're relating. All of this is back to the idea of reincarnation, and that man fundamentally is God. Now, at the same time that they have this basic belief, the concept of the universal God and his powers as a preserver, as a destroyer, as a creator, these attributes of God, they portray as different gods, separate gods. And this is where you get the so-called Hindu Trinity. Now among them, one of the most popular of the gods is Vishnu. And Vishnu, they believe, becomes incarnate at different points in time. The incarnations they call avatars. You hear this term? Avatar means the God-man, the man who is in fact God living amongst us. From time to time, there are different Hindus who will claim that they're avatars. Gurus who reach a certain stage to claim they're avatars. But traditionally, they believe that there were 10 major appearances of Vishnu, in creative form, in the form of creation. They give them a variety of different names, the appearances, and they're related to the forms. Among them, just to give you an idea of the kind of things that they're talking about, one of the first appearance of Vishnu is called Matsya, which is Vishnu appearing as a fish. The fish takes on holy characteristics, and Vishnu is represented as a fish and becomes an object of worship. He also became manifest or incarnate as kurma, which is a tortoise, turtle. So the tortoise has, becomes formed for God for them to worship. And then there's a variety of other things. They got, as a wild pig and a variety of half lion, half man. And then you hear of Rama and Krishna. The Hare Krishnas, you hear about Hare Krishna. The Rama and Krishna, these represent human incarnation of Vishnu. Now, the concept here is of God becoming man. In Christianity, there is a similar concept, though it doesn't promote the idea of God being everything. Right? In fact, they consider this to be pantheism and they reject it. They do promote the idea that the human soul is divine. It's a general belief held that the human soul is divine. But in specific terms of God becoming man, this is expressed in the concept of Jesus, who was a man, being God. And it is expressed in the Gospels, in John in particular, the beginning of which, in which it says, in the beginning was the Word. Right? And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. And it goes on, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among men. This is the philosophical presentation of God becoming man. Now, the term which is used for word in the Gospels, this particular Gospel, because it's written in Greek, is logos. And if you go back to the to Greek philosophy and look at their concept of God, this concept of a universal soul-like being that reflected on itself and its thoughts, became other beings, and the logos plays the role of the intermediary between the universal God and man. And the problem which leads them to this belief is the problem in understanding how God could create from nothing. How God could create from nothing. Because human beings in our world, when we create, what we do is we actually manipulate. When we make table, we are manipulating the wood. We have to cut down the tree, we shape it, put it here. We melt some rocks, take out iron, we make nails and screws, put it together. So we're